The movie starts while showing a fisherman who catches a lot of fish from the river and brings them to the shore and starts cutting them and cleaning them, but a strange thing happens. It took a long time to get those fish out of the water, but then suddenly a fish whose stomach was cut started moving. Then in a while, it starts jumping while moving its body. Now, not only it, but the other dead fish start moving. The fisherman was quite surprised to see this because he had never seen this before. After this, we see a sheriff in a police officer's car. A man from the same town had called, and he was going to meet him. After a while, he reaches his house and talks to him. "Tell me, what is the matter? Why did you call me here?" Then the man shows his dog to the sheriff, who was in bad condition. It was taking its last breaths. Seeing its condition, the sheriff asks the man, "What have you done to it?" The man replies, "Sheriff, I did not do anything to it. I think it must have eaten the poison that I had put in the whole house to kill the rats, but I am not confirmed that it must have eaten the poison. I am just guessing. Now it could not be cured, and it was in so much pain. That's why the sheriff kills it with a bullet.so, that its pain is also over." After this, the sheriff comes home, and his wife tells him that the police arrested our son Joseph, and also your beloved son. Actually, he was the real son of the sheriff and his wife's stepson, whom she was calling beloved. She did not like her stepson because his behavior was strange. She says, "Our boys are in the custody of the police, so do something soon. Go to the police station immediately and get them released." On it, the sheriff says, "I do not take work in a hurry. Now be patient." After saying this, the sheriff goes to his dad. The sheriff's dad was the same fisherman we saw at the beginning. When the sheriff reaches there, the dad shows him the fish that were revived. They were jumping in a strange way. This thing was also seen by the sheriff for the first time. He says, "Don't think so much about it. Come on, let's burn these fish." To remove the petrol can, he went to his car, but when he opened the trunk of the car, he was surprised the dog that the sheriff had killed a while ago. It was revived and attacks him. Then the sheriff, as if to save his life, moves back and shoots it again. This time, the bullet hit his head, so the dog is finally killed here. After its death, the sheriff's dad puts those fish and dogs in one thing and sets it on fire so that the root of these problems is finished, which is coming back to life after death. After it, the sheriff left and goes to the police station first to get his children released. Now the sheriff's sons, who was locked in the cell, a man who was in a bad condition since last night, was also kept with him. He was vomiting. Seeing his condition, the sheriff's son says, "Why don't you die?" After a while, the man vomits a lot of blood. Seeing this, the sheriff's sons get scared. They quickly came to the door and started knocking on the door of the cell and start asking for help from outside. Hearing his voice, the sheriff and a police officer came there quickly and come inside while opening the door. When the policeman sees the condition of the man, he feels that these two must have done something to him. To check the man as the police officer moves near him, the man suddenly stood up. Suddenly, he comes and grabs the policeman by the neck and puts him next to the wall and hits him a lot. He tried a lot to escape, but the man bites the police officer's chest. Seeing this, Joseph comes in the middle to get him released and punches that man's face. But he also bites Joseph's hand. In the meantime, the policeman had got himself released. He picks up a rod and starts hitting that man. The man fell down. The policeman hits him so many times with the rod that the man's head is torn and he fell there. He died on the spot. After leaving, Joseph went to the hospital to get his bandage. Then he meets his wife and found out that she is pregnant, and they think that we should not keep this child, but his wife was saddened by this decision, so they decide to give birth to this child. Now it is found that there is a strange atmosphere in the whole city. She makes him fall down and bites him badly while attacking him, but the sheriff somehow gets rid of himself and attacks her with a big rod. He makes her fall down and attacks her so many times that the woman dies. After this, we are shown the time after 6 months, where this reason came to light, that why was this happening? Actually, the zombie virus had spread all over the world. Because of the bite, another person would also be infected with this virus, and the virus spread like this. Now 6 months had passed, so the whole world was in a bad state because of this virus. There was devastation, so in this environment, the people who were saved from this virus had made a separate place for themselves. They separated themselves from the whole world and made their own area, and a wall was built around it so that no zombies from outside would come to their area. Why staying inside? They were also looking for new ways to kill these zombies every day. Now it was found that Joseph and his dad Sheriff, who were brown, had the power to fight zombies like this because they had a special quality in their blood. Because of this, they used to survive even after being bitten by zombies every time because their wounds heal quickly and the virus did not spread in the body. This ability was almost in all brown people, but not in white people. This is the reason that every time they are bitten by zombies, they are not able to fight the virus and become zombies. Now Sheriff's second son, Joseph's stepbrother, was white, but he was against white people and didn't let any white person come inside who is alive outside. He believed that if someone was infected with this virus here, all the white people inside would also get infected with this virus. Even today, a girl who was alive is brought to this area, but she was bitten by a zombie, but does not tell this to anyone. Instead, she starts living here quietly. Joseph and his wife were worried and talking about that. Our child, who is now in his wife's belly, don't know if he is safe from this virus or not, because his wife was scared. The reason was that she is white, and she had seen many such cases, in which the child became a victim of this virus before birth and inside started eating his mother. On it, Joseph reassures her that you don't think so much about it. Now at night, the sheriff found out that he was running out of necessities in this area. That's why he goes out with his dad and some men to get things, while inside Sharif's second son was drinking with his friends. He lost his mind and goes to that girl who was a victim of this virus, who was brought here today. He started going near her, but during this, the girl turns into a zombie. Her condition was looking worse. Her mouth was bleeding, and her eyes were looking strange. She becomes bloodthirsty and attacks the sheriff's son. She picks up a piece of his body and throws it away, which hurt him so much that he started screaming loudly. Hearing his voice, everyone came there, and seeing this sight, they lost their minds. By that time, Joseph had also come, and he saw that girl and immediately went ahead. They tied her together. Now Joseph and his friend took his stepbrother to his mom so that she can get him treated because she is a nurse. But Joseph's brother knew that I was in such a bad condition that now I will not be able to survive. He started getting angry at the brown people, especially at his dad Sheriff and his brother Joseph, because they had brought that girl inside who put him in such a condition. Now he comes to his brother Joseph and stabs him in the stomach. With the help of his friend, he opens the door of his area. All the zombies run inside. Now after a while, the sheriff was shocked to see the condition of his area. He talks to his wife through the radio, and she tells him that a lot of zombies have entered here, and they have killed most of our people. Only 7-8 people are left who are stuck in a room. Then the sheriff asks one of his friends to sit in the car, make a sound while leaving. Hearing the sound of the car, the zombies will come behind the car. In this way, we will distract them and will save people. That man did the same. When he went with the car, a lot of zombies followed him. In the meantime, the sheriff and his dad went inside and saved the remaining people one by one while taking them out. But when the sheriff was saving Joseph's wife, he was left behind. Then the zombies clung to him and threw him down. The zombies attacked him badly and ate him. The sheriff was torn mercilessly, due to which his painful death took place. Now the remaining people came out and sat in the car and ran away, but all of them were sad because of the sheriff's death. Then a woman's call came to the sheriff's dad, who was a resident of their area. She tells that here in a church, sheriff's stepson and his companions have imprisoned us, so please come and save us. Hearing this, the sheriff's dad felt pity for him, and to help him, he started going towards the church. Now in the car, Joseph's wife's condition starts getting worse. It was time for his child to be born, But then Joseph's stepbrother came and points a gun on both of them. Along with him, he also brought a zombie so that he could bite Joseph's wife because he wanted his wife to become a victim of this virus. But then Joseph's mom takes a gun and shoots him from behind. During this, the zombie starts moving toward them speedily. He grabs Joseph's wife, puts her down and bites her. Seeing this, Joseph comes while running and attacks the zombie with a knife. He cuts off his head and separates it from the body. Then Joseph takes care of his wife. The poor woman says sadly, "I have become a victim of this virus, and Joseph, you have to do something to save your child now." Because of this, Joseph went crazy with anger and wanted to take revenge from his stepbrother. He hits him a knife and then leaves him alive in the area of zombies so that the zombies do bad to him. As Joseph left, all the zombies came together and started tearing his stepbrother's head and biting him badly. Joseph had run away and come to his family. He comes to the riverbank with all of them so that he can sit in the boat and leave from here and go to the other side. But while following them, the zombies reach here. His grandfather decides that he will stay here and face the zombies. By then Joseph will run away with his mother and wife. Now Joseph did not want to leave his grandfather alone, but he had to make the same difficult decision. He said goodbye to his grandfather, sat in the boat and leave from there. They stopped the boat at a deserted place, right in the middle of the river, so that his wife can give birth to her child, because this is a deserted place. No matter how loud she will scream, there is no danger of the zombies coming here. After a while, we see that her child was born who was perfectly healthy. There was no danger. Joseph says while holding his child to his wife, "Take your child, our daughter is born." They were moving forward to go to a safe place. Here concludes this story.